I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder very late. I was 44. And once I got diagnosed, well, then so much made sense. And I was able to get on the right medications and become more stable. And I knew that it had a very high likelihood of passing it along to my daughter. And so I was speaking to somebody in the bipolar clinic in Halifax, and she told me about the study. And I said, absolutely, I would like to participate in that because I want her on the radar from the beginning. Because through both sides of my family, when I look at multi-generational mental illness and trauma from that mental illness, my grandparents, there was nothing for them. My mother was diagnosed in her 50s with depression. My father in his 30s with bipolar, because it was a bit more obvious. And then for me, started down the path of trying to figure out what was going on in my 30s, but not really properly diagnosed until my 40s. So what could have, thinking back, I remember being extremely anxious from the age of 7 onward and struggling with depression, but not really knowing what it was, and not even knowing I was experiencing hypomania for years, because I wasn't really on the radar and nobody ever really followed up. So to think of my daughter and to have her have the chance to have the resources, to have resources like therapy, to have someone checking on her, to evaluating her from such a young age, something like bipolar, especially, my understanding is that if you can keep it under control, it stays more under control. If you have more episodes, it gets worse as you move along. So for her to be on the radar of psychiatrists and health professionals from a young age is really important to me.